Today we're going to talk about stripping bats into roving, which makes it much simpler to spin and will be a more familiar preparation to most of you. Here's one of the bats I created. This one happens to be hand-dyed wool, hand-dyed silk, and Angelina fiber in there. Now I'm going to strip it down to make it easier to spin. I usually like to strip them into quarters, so it's simple enough to just fold it and rip it in half. You're going to go most of the way to the bottom, but not all the way. So you're going to leave a little chunk here, and then we're going to go ahead and strip back up the side like this. And again, we're going to leave a little attachment. As I strip the bat, you can see the different layers of fiber that I've put into this bat. And so when you pull this out into a roving preparation, that will blend a little more and it won't be as distinct. I'm going to go ahead and strip the final side down. So now you can see we have one long, very fat preparation, and now we're just going to pull it a little thinner into roving, and you can store it and use it just like any other roving. The trick is you want to make sure and not pull too much of it at one time, because then you'll just end up pulling your fiber right apart, and that's not what you want. So you're going to gently pull gradually down the length of the fiber. When you get down here to the connection, you can just very carefully pull it so that it forms a single, to overlap these a little bit, so that it continues into a single roving. You want to make each full pass with your fiber as you go along, not pulling out past the staple length, because again, then your roving will separate. So now I'm going to go back to the beginning of the roving. I tend to like to pull roving in one direction and pull it a little thinner so that it's going to be, the finished thickness that I want, and then you can spin down from there. You can always pull it thinner if you want to pull it closer to what it's going to be when you spin, but be very careful doing that you don't pull it apart. We're just going to go through and pull this a little thinner. And you can see while I'm pulling this roving, it's blending it even further. And as you can see, we have a lovely pile of roving ready to spin. That is how easy it is to strip a bat.